Okay, so this video is going to be how to fix like your Wi-Fi is just not connecting to your Nintendo Switch, Switch 2. Like let's say it broke all of a sudden in terms of like it just stopped working. It just never worked in the first place. Trying to figure out how to fix that. Whatever. It's just not connecting. This video is going to be a bunch of different ways on how to do it. I don't know how many different ways I'm about to say. How to do, but I think it's gonna be like around 7. I'll put in the title. But yeah, so let me just get into it. So the first way is to actually make sure that it's the correct Wi-Fi. It might sound super basic, but that's just actually something to make sure it's correct, because sometimes somebody else has a Wi-Fi that's like the exact same name as yours, and you may be trying to click that by mistake, and that's why it's not working. And also confirm that correct password, correct all that stuff. Just make sure your basics are all confirmed. Most likely that's not your issue, but you just have to say that just in case that is. Second is going to be to connect a different device to your Wi-Fi. This is actually just to confirm that it's actually like not just like a Wi-Fi problem in general. So like, for example, I have my computer connected to apartment 115, which is the Wi-Fi name for my Wi-Fi. As you see, it works. I can just type, car or something like that, and it searches things. So that's to rule out it being just like a Wi-Fi itself issue. So yeah, so if it is connecting to other devices, but it's not connecting to your Nintendo Switch 2, then you know it's something that actually has to do with your Nintendo Switch 2. So now we've ruled those things out. Now we're gonna get into the rest of the options. And the next option is just to bring your Nintendo Switch 2 like as close as possible to the actual router, and then trying to connect it. As you see, my router's right here. So I would go here and then just try to connect it that way. If that does work, then that means that there's just something that's in between your Switch 2 and the router that's causing it to like glitch out and stuff. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's another small fix. And then another way is to actually reset your Wi-Fi router. So all you would do is, in the event that you have the same thing as me, you just hold down the power button. The whole thing will reset. And then once that turns back on, then you just try to connect it that way. And that means that it was just something to do with like the router, like you just had to reset it real quick. Hopefully that fixes it as well. Another option is to fully turn your Nintendo Switch 2 off and then turn it back on, and we'll do this repeatedly until it were to work. And by fully turn it off and turn it on, I don't mean like just sleep mode. I mean turning it like fully off. So what you're gonna do is you see this power button right here. You're gonna hold that down for, I think it's like 5 seconds. It's gonna do this, power options, and then you're gonna click power off. Let it turn all the way off. And then you're going to let it sit for a couple, couple minutes or whatever, or 30 seconds, whatever. And then once it's fully turned off, you're gonna turn it back on. You're gonna turn it back on, and then you're gonna try the whole thing again. So, you're gonna log back in, try to connect it again. Boom, like that, apartment 115, then you would, connect it to that, like that. That's another way that you can try, is just doing that. Some resources online say that you need to do this like a bunch of times. Do it like up to like 15 to 20 times is an option. Hopefully you don't have to do that, but that's just like what's recommended. And then if that doesn't work, another option is to forget the Wi-Fi. Like delete it from your Nintendo Switch 2 and then just like log in again. So like what you would do is you would click on it, clear settings. Settings will be deleted, click delete settings. So then once it's searching, it'll require you to join it again. So see, enter your password. Just enter it real quick. So I just entered it, and then, connect that way. Hopefully that works. If none of those work, then I have another option too. It's just takes longer. That's why I put it at the end. But so you're going to have to manually put in or change the DNS setting. That I probably just sound like I spoke a different language. There's, I'll show you guys what I mean. So you're gonna go to internet settings. Once you open it, you're gonna click on it, go to change settings. You're gonna scroll down to where you see DNS, and you're gonna change that to manual. And then you see this primary DNS. There's 2 different DNS options you can do. I'll put them in right now. But so instead of it being all zeros, you're either gonna do 008.008.008.00008 and put it like that. Save. And then try connecting. And so if that works, hopefully that does. If that doesn't work, try this one. You do the exact same thing. You do the exact same thing by going here. Instead of it being 008, you do 001. So 001.00 001.001.001. Save. And then try connecting. Wait for it to load, connect. Yeah, and then try connecting. Hopefully one of those worked. It now fixed your Nintendo Switch too, and now you can be online. Hopefully, if that did not happen, I'm sorry. Hopefully, maybe you have to bring it into like a Nintendo store or something like that. But yeah, hopefully that helped. If that did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Happy to help. And yeah, you have the rest of your day. Bye.